Deep 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 deep. Deep 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 deep. That's annoying. Redhead Prime, welcome to the chat. So we have not moved yet. Uh, we are we're still in the current house. We sold. So the whole real estate business is it's all settled. We just need to get out of the house. Um, so in order for me to get out of the house, this guy needs to be ready for shipment, and it can't get shipped like this. Um, and I kind of thought that some people might be interested in seeing what goes into a rig, and then um, the I'm not keeping it. I'm going to be gifting it to someone. So I figured having a recording of how it comes apart would help them put it back together later. Uh, this has been my baby for like 4 years. But thanks for stopping by the stream. If you have any questions, um, please let me know. I really quite enjoy teaching people. Um, for now, I'm just right this second. I'm just kind of waiting to see like a couple other viewers that I'm kind of expecting or hoping to can make it to the stream. So we shall see. How have you been? Let's see. What have you been up to? It's not showing me your last gameplay. Hmm. Been sick? Hopefully not COVID. Board Kender. Hey, thanks for joining. Welcome to the chat. I don't recognize that name, but you know who I am, so I'm curious. Who are you? Yeah, I haven't streamed in like a month. Actually, yes, COVID. Oh, COVID's no fun. I really hope it's not very bad for you. I had it for Christmas. Yay. Um, I was just malaise for like a week, but I didn't get nearly as terrible as other people have. I'm down the street. Board Kender. Cool. Well, thank you for jumping into the stream. Appreciate you. Um, so I'm just waiting for a couple more people to jump into the chat that I'm kind of hoping slash expecting before I get into tearing apart um, the computer. SoCal, welcome to the stream, SoCal. You're not new. Why are you reading? Say hi, I'm new. Um, You're like the OG. Like you were the first viewer I had because you put up with me. For Christmas, oh man, that sucks. I've been down for 3 weeks. Got it bad. Had it back in February, and it wasn't that bad. 3 weeks. Wow. I'm sorry to hear that. I gotta say, I really hope you have a smooth recovery, or it ends like goes away pretty quickly. That sucks. Tear apart the computer with a hammer, a sledge, a pack of wild honey badgers, even? No. So I am going to be gifting this computer to someone. So I'm going to take it apart, and that way when they get it, they can put it back together, hopefully fairly easy. Obviously, if they have any questions, you know, I'll be available and to walk them through it. Um, but yeah, so let's see who else we got here. Thank you, SoCal. Yes, for the start, I can go ahead and take off this plexiglass. So you have a clear case. Does that mean there's colored fans? Um, so, oh, all right, I gotta show this off. Hold on. Let me get the glass off and I'll show you. Um, the fans aren't colored because there's very few fans because it's an open air case. Unlike a normal case where you have to blow air in and out, this one there's no sides or top, or there's no front, back, or top. So it vents very easy. The only fans are the actual component fans, uh, which is great because it's like super quiet. Um, Plexiglass is off, and I need some place to stick it without scratching it. Why did you choose an open case? That's a great question. It's such an oddball thing to have a case that doesn't close. I found this one, which this computer's name was Frozone, um, until I wiped all its memory. And I like the idea of icy stuff. If you can see behind me, yeah, I got my paintings and my desk. It's all a mix of blue, like icy blue stuff and white. So I went with a white case that I was really excited about, and then I went with open air because I wanted as quiet of a case as possible, and for it to be The Incredibles, yes. Frozone's awesome. Um, and so I wanted to be as quiet as possible, but still like show off. Like, why spend so much money on all the components if you are gonna put it into like a black case that you can't see anything? And then the RGB is cool and all, but I honestly when I first got it, I did a bunch of the like color changing rainbow stuff and uh, where is my super suit? Well, my honey's not here to fetch me a super suit. She normally helps me out with that. I actually have a thing where you can redeem ashes, which is my channel's like I don't know what you call them, like points. Oh, there it is. Thanks, SoCal. I'm sure you have a ton of ashes. Um, Shoot. Did those get packed yet, SoCal? is that so loose? But not coming out. Did you pack them? Let me go check. I'll be right back. Still thinking blogging the next few months is a good idea. Okay, so this is what superhero time does. It gets me into a superhero outfit, or some other sort of relevant costume. Hello, dog. Ruff. Come on. Ugh. No, no, no. It's Captain Puerto Rico. No, it's you know who it's supposed to be. Okay, I'm gonna get us. I'm gonna get us. I need some background music or something. Yes, this is my son's puppy. She's ah not even a year old yet. Eh, why you do this? Okay, okay. I'm trying to do something. She is a devil. Okay. All right, go. Go. You're too big for this. No, go, go. Do dog stuff. Be a dog. You crazy. Go. That little paw. That a huge paw. Okay. Where was I on this guy? I don't know why this guy's not coming out. Hmm. Okay, so I thought that this screw in here was mounted, but it's just a really large screw. Okay, just set that aside. All right, so let's see. What's the first thing? Oh, you asked about the RGB coloring and stuff. So I was trying to avoid it, but kind of like showing it off. So I'll turn it on real quick. Jesus, dog, stop it. Okay, so you can kind of see it. The motherboard has RGB that runs from the bottom all the way up the back. You can't see it because this huge fan is in the way. You can see some of it back here, and then if this was off, you could see some more of it. If I turn it on, all the things light up. But that's all we get for that, because it is currently set to boot, so that the next person that signs in is the next person to own it. Leave my food alone, booger. Move. You can get run over, dog. Okay, so let's see here. We'll do. Let's start with something easy. We'll start with the power supply, which is this big old brick on the bottom here. Yeah. So for the RGB and the colors and lights and stuff, you actually can set all those different things as different colors. I had it in line with it being called Frozone. Um, actually, that's pretty secure. You can probably leave that on there. Um, I left it. I changed it to a pulsing from blue, like light blue, dark blue, and like a light white, a lighter color. So it was like it looked like a little stream going back and forth. Okay, so what I'm going to, unless Zethrin logs in and yells at me about power supply stuff, I'm going to see if I can get away with keeping that mounted. Cool to go with icy thing. Yep. Cool. Yes. Very cool. What's cool to being cool? So the video card actually has two power connectors. Nice, cool. Thank you, SoCal. um, and I have a modular power supply. So that means that you only need to plug in the cables you actually need. So it stays a lot cleaner. It's a lot easier to manage. I don't know why it took so long for people to start using those. Let's see, what do we need to take off next? Let's do the Wi-Fi card. So the Wi-Fi card has a little antenna, And there's just two little screws. They don't have to be super tight. These little guys. And they actually, it doesn't matter which is which, as long as both of them are hooked up to the card. And then you'll see these guys all, or makes it real easy to just to change the configuration of stuff because they basically use the same screw on like everything. And that's particular to this case. Uh, so we have there's real little right here. The Wi-Fi card I have. It has one cable coming down here to the motherboard, and I'm gonna see if I can take this off from the card so it's easier to know where it goes on the motherboard. I hope you guys don't hear the dogs barking. Sorry, I don't know what's going on. Really? Stop it. Anyways, Wi-Fi, Wi-Fi 6 Wi-Fi card. Um, I have baggies. Something about my baggies coming in a much bigger bag I find quite hilarious. Yeah, sorry, it's a new setup. I got a new laptop, which is what I'm using here. And I don't have all my stuff installed, unfortunately. And one of the things not installed is my noise suppression software. I haven't been streaming very much lately. We've been so crazy busy, and Danielle's been busy like completely packing up the house. I've been busy getting myself hurt so that I'm not packing up the house apparently. All right, so this is a ESD baggie. I'm sure y'all have seen it at some point in your lives. Ding, ding, ding. Wi-Fi card in the bag. And that is the first component. All right, so next, yay, thank you. Let's see. What do we got in chat? SoCal, Donnie, K Hugs, Redhead Prime, Super 8. All right, well, thank y'all for stopping by. We're currently taking apart a my previous gaming rig, um, which will be going to one of my subscribers. Now the next part, which is like the big, one of the biggest pieces, we're gonna do the video card. I don't normally hold on to boxes, but this was a really cool box, so I held on to it. What was this? Heatsink. This little guy is a heatsink on one of my sticks of solid state hard drive. Um, I think it's worked well. It's kind of cool that it lights up. I don't think there's any reason for me to still have this little box. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and put these back in here. Can you guys see that? It's got like this like really neat. I'm such a nerd for fancy packaging. Boop. So we will set that aside for now. Move this. Yeah. Our next bag out. Oh, that is neat. Yes. Oh, you should have seen. It should still be up on my Twitch. When I opened up my new laptop box, it was so neat. They made it so that when you open the box, it lifted the laptop to you, like it was like presenting itself, like like you just I don't know. You should go back and watch the my stream of me opening my laptop box. Um, One thing I did not do very well on that stream that I'm kind of mad about, I did not explain what I was doing very well, and I didn't feel like I really explained like some parts of that. Okay, hold on. Sorry about that, slight intermission. Uh, our puppy has started getting on the counters, and like she's big, so she can get up and look at the counter and be like, "I want that." So, anyways, no actual problem. I just thought she was getting into stuff. Yeah, I did unboxing. Looking back, I could have done it better, but you know, it's my first time. It just means my wife has to buy me more laptops so that I could do more unboxing. Um, yeah, it's a gaming laptop. So my whole thing with the laptop was one, the wife said I could buy one, and then she didn't give me any real stipulations and said just fucking get the laptop. So I took that as like, go get it right now before she can change her mind. But I also wanted one that could replace my desktop. Fat fucking chance. Um, so I wanted one that could replace my desktop. So it's a good gaming computer. It's an Asus ROG Strix 17. Um, Basically top of line like everything. I got it's future proof for a while. So I real excited about that. So back to this beast though. It has the RTX. Well, it has a bunch of dust. Yeah, I need some canned air for this. I'm just gonna go ahead and apologize. I don't think we're gonna be able to get canned air by the time we move, so you might end up uh, the person receiving this is gonna end up with some dusty pieces. Anyways, it's a RTX Super 2070. This video card weighs a ton and performs like the beast that it is. I don't think I can get it so I can show you, but there's a couple teardown videos of this card, and like almost all of the bulk of this is just heat pipes and different cooling to make sure that it's cool. I went with the bags inside of a bag, and we pay for air in a can. Life is silly. Yes, that's hilarious. That's great. Um, I went with the NVIDIA one and not one of the other aftermarket versions because my understanding was that this was one of the quieter ones um, without doing like water cooling. So I do have the box for it, but I don't have the original shielding. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in here. You know, SoCal, if you get excited and start streaming and stuff, then I would totally be okay with you either using my laptop or, you know, if you needed to upgrade yours. But you don't have a bad laptop, so I don't think you need to. But if you wanted to, we could probably work that out. Is this gonna fit in here with this? Does this even have this originally? All right, everybody, say goodbye to the 2070. Mm. Mine has a camera. Yes, I know my expensive ass laptop doesn't have a camera. Like I found out it does have a microphone. I just apparently had it muted. Stop throwing stuff. Nice and tight. That should have no issues. All right, so some more intricate pieces. You can start to see more of the motherboard now. The video cards are, I don't know how detailed you can see it, but this shiny strip right here is PCI Express 16, so it has 16 different lanes. Um, this motherboard, why? Why? Lulu, she's doing nothing. Leave her alone. Go lay down. Go. She has nothing. Go lay down. Oy. So this motherboard could support two video cards. I did run that for a little while. Um, because the video card, because the RTX was such a performance gain, the secondary video card, which I think was a 1650 Ti, did not really contribute much. In fact, it probably slowed down some things. Um, so I took that off in hopes of the whole system being more stable, and it turned out to get quite a bit more stable and didn't have any performance loss. So it can do two video cards, but um, it doesn't really you don't really need to do that anymore. Um, so as for the coolers, the fans, I went with Noctua because they are amazing at making fans that cool really well. Whereas there are other brands that are like, yeah, we'll make this fancy fan that has a bunch of lights and looks all cool, but doesn't actually chill very much. Where is my? Oh boy. So I've dusted the machine, but I don't think I've ever had the fan completely off. So this is 4 years of dust in an open air case. That is substantially less than if you had an actual closed-in case, because the dust can just flow through. And that being said, when I show you the heatsink, you'll be like, "Oh, stop it! Let me get. I need a box for this." Okay, so the agreed. Coach, what were you agreeing on? I lost the train of thought. What are you agreeing with, Coach? The fan cleanliness. Oh, that it's like barely any dust for being 4 years and not being cleaned. Why are you barking at me? Hello, you're a puppy. Yes, you have food, you have water, and I know you dropped a deuce. Chill out. No, I don't want you in my lap right now. I'm busy. You're so demanding, like a mom. Mm, I kid. Puppy want human food and cuddles. Yes. All right. So where? Wow. The dog knows that fan isn't great. She said it blows. Noctua fans are really good. They actually made a Nvidia and Noctua got together and made a video card that has a built-in Noctua fan, and it outperforms a lot of stuff. Ow! Stop it! Stop it! What? Ah, No, no licking. No licking. I'll give you a hug and then you gotta get down. You can go to bed without me. Ah, stop it. No, this is not Pepper. Pepper's on the floor. She's not. She does not cuddle like this. This is Lulu. Right. All right. Can you still see this? Some days I do not claim him. What are you doing? Are you getting down now, punk? Anyways, okay. So back to what I was trying to do. I wanted to get this off, but I cannot see. So, or as Frozo's wife says, the greatest good you're ever gonna get. Yeah. Yup. My dad asked if she was being bribed or drugged to stay with me when we started dating. So heat sinks actually are usually spring loaded um, to keep the pressure on the processor. Um, this heat sink, because I'm taking it off, will need new um, thermal paste applied. Oh, look at that! I did a good job. Okay, so here is the heat sink. I don't know if you guys can see dust. You can see the outline of the fan blade. That's all the dust there is on this thing. That's why I like an open air case. Now you can't see it really in the middle on this little dinky camera, but there's a bit of dust in the middle because that fan didn't get the dust thrown out as much. And then like the back is not very much. Um, so on the bottom, this is thermal paste. You It helps conduct heat between the processor's what's the name for the top of the processor? Anyways, the top of the processor and this whole housing for your cooler. Um, I don't know if you guys can really see it, but the fact that there's no blotches or blank spots means I did a pretty good job getting thermal paste on here. Um, and you can see the entire outline of the processor die, meaning the entire processor touched thermal paste, which is really good. Um, some newer things, like my new laptop, actually has what's called liquid metal. Um, that is much more conductive than the normal thermal paste. I need a cloth. Have you subscribed with Prime? Thank you for the plug, Coach. I appreciate that. All right, so the thermal paste came right off. You can see that's all nice and shiny. That being said, that's about it. We're gonna do with this guy. Um, let's see if he fits. Perfect. Shout out to SoCal for finding the perfect box for these parts that are so random. You found these boxes. You gave me this box, and you got like all fancy because you got this box here, and then you're like, oh, here's an insert that you can put in the top of the box for other stuff, which I will do. Actually, that's going to be where the Wi-Fi card goes. Wi-Fi card, and so this is the Wi-Fi antenna. It's just on with some sticky shit. That's going to need new tape. Agreed for Phoenix. My prime son went to Matt Mercer last week. Yeah, I'm pretty awesome. Yes, yes, you are. All right, so the antenna is not sensitive, so it doesn't need its own bag. I just want to cover the sticky stuff so it's not all awkward. And then we'll put that right up top. Okay, so now is for me is like all exciting because now we can see everything that's left at least. Um, so up here you got the processor, obviously. In this build, it's a Intel 7700. It's not a 7700K, it's a 7700. Um, the tiny box is genius. Good thinking, SoCal. Yes. Yeah. Um, so I had to kind of jump through some hoops to get Windows 11 working on here, but it works, and it's not. I had to do a backdoor stuff to make it work. So um, then it has four uh, sticks of RAM, all Corsair. Um, let's see. So for RAM, it's like a little button up at the top, and it slides out. I'm actually gonna put the RAM back in um, for the shipping part. So I don't know if you can see this. You can see that one little tooth missing right here. See how right there. So DDR4 RAM has tooth in one specific spot, and then if you have DDR3, which no one buys or even makes anymore, every once in a while I have a good idea. You always have a good idea. I don't know how you ended up with me. Um, so DDR4 RAM and DDR3 RAM, DDR5 RAM will not fit in a motherboard that doesn't support it. So if you ever go put RAM in and it won't fit, make sure it's not backwards. And if it doesn't fit either direction, don't force it in. Um, so this one is Corsair, 8 gigabytes, 2100 megahertz. Um, so it's not incredibly fast. Um, Newer RAM on like a DDR5 will be like 4000 megahertz. But this machine has so much RAM, you shouldn't see any kind of impact. So this has two 8 gigs of RAM, and then it also has a two 16 gigs of RAM. Why such weird numbers? Because that's what I could afford at the time. Okay. Um, so I on the RAM, you'll notice that there's actually different colors. I'm not sure if it picks it up on there, but it's like a dark, it's a black, then gray, then black, then gray. So what that means is the channel that the RAM's in. If you have RAM that's the same size, you want them on the same color or in the same channel. So the 16 gigs, it's actually 16, 8, 16, 8 because the channels are every other slot. So when you're putting it in, you want to make sure that it matches the channel setup. Mhm. Okay, so we're talking about the different colors of these up here. They're very, not very different. Earthquake! You're welcome. Thank you for speaking up. One of my biggest headaches in just everything for me is when people won't speak up. Like my day-to-day job, like I'll be like, "Hey, here's this stuff," and they'll be like, "Okay." I'm like, "I know that's incomplete. Like, can you just tell me your thoughts on what I handed you? Like, don't just accept that. I know it's wrong. I gave you the wrong answers on purpose." And they're just like, "Oh, I want your opinion." Okay, so let's see what else. So you have the, like I was talking about before, we have PCI 16, PCI Express slots here. Um, the longer ones are the 16X, so there's 16 um, channels again. I think it's channels. Someone correct me if I say that wrong. But so this is 16 times or 8 times the size. There's 2x here. So these little ones here are for smaller things like the Wi-Fi card because you don't really need a lot of information going or a lot of different channels for the Wi-Fi cards. Then you have this itty bitty battery that keeps the clock correct. So if your time keeps resetting on your computer and you can't figure out why, it might be that this battery's dead. So when you turn it on, it's resetting the clock. Um, and then right up here, which is really hard to see, I will actually pop this one out just so I can show you. So this, oh, who knows what this is without just reading it and telling me? Oh, no, the clock thing, that's like a that's like a generic battery for like a watch. And I honestly, I've never had a computer long enough that died, eh, like since like the 90s. A thingamajig. Yeah, you're correct. So this is actually a hard drive. So instead of these big bulky hard drives, which I'll show you a couple on the back side I have, it's just this little bitty hard drive. It's a solid state hard drive. It's extremely fast, um, very reliable. Um, so like if you drop these, it doesn't really, it shouldn't lose its information. Whereas if you drop a disk drive, a hard disk drive, which is HDD, You could break either the disc or throw off any of the mechanics in it so they don't work anymore. Um, but these are really hard to mess up. Most of the time, they're just simply referred to as an M2 because that's the slot that it fits into. Now, again, the top of this has a certain number of pins missing, so it only fits in an M2 slot that it's compatible with. Putting your operating system, which Windows 11 is loaded on this one, will make booting up much faster. The only reason that this system won't boot any faster is because Windows and the motherboard tell it you have to wait 3 seconds, you have to wait 4 seconds, and that gives you time if you need to troubleshoot to hit like the button to enter the BIOS or to enter a safe boot mode. Otherwise, it would just right to Windows, right to login. So to install this, it, you don't have a power cable, you don't have um, a separate data cable. It mounts directly to the motherboard. There are two of these. This one is the little one dedicated to the operating system and personal files. Like your download folder goes here. Then that's just because Windows likes to use a download folder for everything. One sec while I check on the terrorist. So, Gal, both dogs have tasted our couch now. She basically tore off one of the arms. No, no, you go lay down. Go lay down. No. Intel Core 7, i7, 7700, 3.6 gigahertz. It's a beast of a little processor. My dog is an angel. Your dog was the original culprit that destroyed the couch. She's much better. I feel like she's a retired maniac at this point. Nom nom nom. All right, so we got a little introduction to the M2 memory. Let's see here. I feel like I want to take the motherboard off the frame, but I'm not sure if it would be better on the frame or it would be better off the frame. I think I'm gonna leave it on the frame. We plead the fifth. We plead the fifth. You're funny. Man, I wish I had a can of air. Hmm. So I'm conflicted about the motherboard because if I leave the motherboard on the frame, it's it can stay connected to the other hard drives. It can stay connected to the power supply unit. But will it fit in the box? I don't think so. Yeah, I think I gotta take it off. First time chat. K Hugs, nice breakdown. Thanks, K Hugs, I appreciate that. Have you already chosen a subscriber to gift it to? That's what she said. Okay, bored, Kender. I'm not sure which. That's what she said. Like which phrase you were applying that to. Um, but yeah, I to be completely honest, I already know who this is going to. That's kind of what led to me doing this teardown uh, stream. Will it fit in the box? That's that's the question. I think I have to take off quite a bit more. I think the motherboard will fit, but the power supply has to come off, um, and a couple of the frame things need to come off. So here's why I'm trying to avoid taking everything off. Because on the back, I have wire management, which there's not a ton of wire, so it's not too terrible. Um, and then these are two I've been watching for a while, but my account wasn't verified, so I wasn't chatting. Well, I appreciate you hopping in and chat, Hugs, and I'm glad that you're enjoying the show. I try to be entertaining and informative. I try. uh, so with these two, they're each 1 terabyte of just normal hard drives, but they're run as RAID 5. So sees the motherboard tells the operating system, "Hey, this is one hard drive," and if one of these fails, or if the operating system can't pull information from these hard drives, then it will stop trying to read or write to them, and then you can do stuff. There's a process to split them back up and check to see which one failed. At that point, whichever one failed, it's gone. You throw that one away, and you have all your hardware RAID. Yes. Uh, so you still keep all your data. Um, I called it cold storage on my Frozone. That's where I kept like my videos, mainly my videos from Twitch, um, photos, music, things that don't need to load instantly or you wouldn't even notice. Um, so this hard drive, or the motherboard has hardware RAID assist built into it. So I think the configuration I ended up with was RAID is referred to as RAID 5, I think. Now you make me question it, but I'm not turning this thing back on to double check. I know it works in RAID. I might have my numbers of RAID mixed up. I don't know why there's you. So you have RAID 1 and 5. So 5 takes 3. So is 5 where it writes, it's to write faster, and 1 is for mirroring? Maybe I got that backwards. But the way this one is set up is these two mirror each other, so that if one fails, you still have all your data. I never had any issue with these Western digital hard drives. And then there's just some power management. Um, Fun times. And then we'll take a quick look at all the different plugs that this features. There we go. Okay, so up top, USB-C. Before was really standard. Next to that is a USB. It's like I think it's 3.1. And then we have a serial port or DVI port. Uh, Never used it on this. Has a built-in DisplayPort, built-in HDMI. I use those just to get it up and running and troubleshooting when I first put this thing together. USB 3.0 ports, a serial for mouse or keyboard, Ethernet. This one's is 1 gig board, and then your usual audio stuff, including the optical audio, uh, if you do go that direction. I really like headsets because then you don't get feedback and all the interruptions and stuff. Um, the I already put it away. Sorry, I didn't show you guys, but the video card has two display ports and two HDMI ports and a USB-C port, but that's only for video. It doesn't let you use it for other stuff. RAID 0 is faster but no redundancy. RAID 1 is same speed but full redundancy. RAID 5 is a bit of a mix, but you have to have at least 3 drives. 0 is big drive, 1 is mirror, 2 and 3 aren't used much, 4 is good for servers, 5 is for on drugs. Okay, I appreciate that, yes. So yeah, so this is definitely RAID 1 then. That was the nice thing about the BIOS wizard, because it was like, do you want to make it run faster or do you want redundancy? I was like, redundancy. The whole point of this thing having any disk drives is pure redundancy. Because under earlier, we saw this bar here light up. That's a heat sink on top of another M2. There's a 1 terabyte M2 NVMe solid state hard drive under this guy. Um, but that's clipped on and screwed in, so I'm not going to be screwing with that right now. Let's see here. Where do you plug in all the way over there? Okay, so I think we're gonna have to tear them down some more. 11 is Stranger? Slurpees. 7, 11 is Stranger's Slurpee. Slurpees? 7. Oh man, y'all got me all sorts of mixed up now. So, Cal, I didn't get the reference. Coach totally get the reference because she said 7-Eleven. And now I want a Slurpee. All right, so we need to take you apart some more. Where are we going to start? Let's go ahead and get the motherboard nice and safe. Yay! What you got in that cup? Nothing fancy. Just 7 Up because we got a whole bunch of 7 Up. There are 3, 7 through 1 within 2 minutes, man. Oh, 7-Elevens within 2 minutes, man. Yeah, but I'm not gonna be right back and drive to 7-Eleven. That's not gonna go well. I'll never hear the end of that from SoCal. She's like, you didn't use your be right back screen. You left everybody on hold for 10 minutes. You have the biggest dick in the world. What? All right, so important right here. Power cable says MB. It's for the motherboard. It goes in the big plug on the motherboard. It's fairly straight. Um, the um, I'm not sure what you call this power spot up here, but there's another motherboard power connector at the top here. You use CPU one and CPU one as well, and both those just go up into this top spot over here. They only fit in a specific way. I just saw your face waiting for a reaction. Okay. Hey, Board Candor, thank you for stopping by. I appreciate your help and I appreciate your participation during the streams. Catch you later, man. Um, okay, so we'll leave all the data cables. I just need to get all the power cables off. So that being said, we're gonna unplug this guy and unplug this one. Hey, coach is back. Uh, I'm going to go ahead and have to apologize to the person that is receiving this ahead of time. You're going to have to do a little more work than I was anticipating, but I want to make sure you get something that works. I have two 4 terabyte drives in RAID in my computer, but it is ZFS software RAID that only works on Linux. My understanding is that hardware RAID is tends to be like less demanding. Is that Would you say that is accurate? So for those of you that have no idea what software versus hardware RAID is, um, Windows or Linux, your operating system, can tell your hard drives that, hey, you are running RAID. And at that point, it's the operating system managing the changes to those hard drives in that RAID configuration. So there's software telling it to do that. What I have done on this one using hardware, it's the motherboard that is configured to basically set up so that when a CPU and operating system boots up, they don't have to even think about the fact that there's two hard drives. They just see one single hard drive. Yeah, hardware RAID is more performance because all the parity is offloaded. Thanks for dumbing that down for me. It didn't help, but thanks anyway. Um, I try. Well, SoCal, I just appreciate you hanging out with us tonight. This connector does not want to come off, and I do as the one that cannot be replaced. My computer works, and that's what matters. Hey, it came off. There we go. Motherboard cable in the box. I'll wrap all of those nice and pretty later. KK is my hubby, and he's always talking computer stuff to me, and it usually goes over my head, but he has taught me a lot. Oh, that's cool. ZFS, for instance, has full point in time snapshotting, which is pretty cool. You can also stream the ZFS changes over the internet and replicate your RAID remotely. Okay, so that would be nice. That would be. I don't know if you guys have ever seen Linus Tech Tips, but they do. It's a pretty big YouTube channel. Um, they have a server set up where he's kind of talking about that. So KK and Redhead. Well, I have an idea of what Redhead plays. KK, what games do you play, or are you just like you work for being a nerd and don't feel like I don't know. Do you play any games? Yes, I love his humor. Yes, my comment was for you. Well, well, now I'm also confused on who you're referring to. Who you is you who? You who? Big summer blowout. You as in SoCal. Okay. You who? Oh, Linus's humor. Yeah, they have a really good. Uh, channel. I wish I was big enough that Intel would drop 5K on each of my workers to upgrade their gaming rigs. It'd be really short because it's just like the two of us. CS:GO is my most played, I think, but I play most anything computer. Skyrim, League of Legends, 7 Days to Die, Valheim, Risk of Rain 2, Mountain Blade, all kinds. So I was using the computer I'm taking apart now. I was hosting 7 Days to Die, and we had, I think at one point we had 4 or 5 people playing, and Blood Moon with extra zombies. Didn't miss a beat. It was fantastic. I hosted Valheim with at least 8 players. Didn't miss a beat. Um, yeah, I this I'm very proud of this beast that I created. So right now I'm just taking off the rest of the silver supports because they stick out so much. And then I'm going to need to take off the power supply. I got risk. Actually, I think on Redhead Prime's uh, channel, I got Risk of Rain. But I haven't had a chance to play it yet. I want to say that Redhead was having um, nice. I run some servers too from time to time, but I rent a dedicated that I use for that. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, I thought about trying to figure out how to get a dedicated server for when I change games because I change games kind of often, and I feel bad when like someone else wants to play it. Like my father-in-law plays 7 Days to Die, and we had a lot of fun with that. But like if I'm not running the server, he doesn't get to play, and he's very he tries to be really polite. Like he doesn't want to like message me like, "Hey, can I play the video game now?" So like it became inconvenient for him to play games that he was liking. And I kind of felt bad about that. But if I paid for something to get hosted, then that wouldn't be an issue. But like I would want like Valheim to be hosted. I would want 7 Days to Die to be hosted. V Rising is a new game that's really fun. Um, has anybody on here tried V Rising yet? All right, so this is the a side support bracket that the all those cards, the PCI Express cards, they hook up to. I'm taking that off because it's bulky. Um, as a convenience feature, which anybody in the aviation community would get mad at me for this, but whatever, it's computer. I'm putting the screws back where they came out of the frame. You do not do that on helicopters or airplanes because that's not good. But being able to find the screws on a computer would be handy. I have not tried Beat Rising, neither have I, not CPU related. But I'm going to jump in a bucket of bees. I've memorized episodes of Gilmore Girls. Man, you're trying to get me in trouble. Gilmore Girls. My mom and my sister loved that show growing up, so I saw a lot of it. Rory trying to go off to college, and her boy toy, and then her her mom being flippy floppy with the guy that owns the diner, who was like this cool guy, but he was always like There was always just something off about him having a relationship with anybody. What was the mom's name again? Do I love coffee? Huh, I need it in an IV. Lorelai. Yep, yep. I used to get called Lorelai. It was annoying. Coach, why are you saying sorry to KK? That's why everyone says our name wrong. Yeah. Oh god. Oh my god. Oh. Oh, did you say sorry because you changed the subject and everybody jumped on it? I mean, I don't feel like you need to apologize. I can still talk to KK and talk about Gilmore Girls. Because I changed the convo from CPU to Gilmore Girls. Yeah, but see how many people you got more engaged? I can still talk to KK about CPU stuff. Okay, so the computer case was not very dirty. The power supply unit is a different story. I, ooh, that's supposed to be black. I used to do computer repair. Takes a lot more than that to give me nightmares. Aren't blowjobs illegal on Twitch? Okay. Clean your house? You live with me. Anyways, one blowjob later, that's what it looks like. SoCal Thug Life. Damn, you are. SoCal out here with all the shade. You know, with the amount of shade you throw around, you would think I'd never get sunburnt. Your phone is out of focus. Hey, KK, um, what are your thoughts on shipping it, the motherboard still attached to um, the frame? The white rack in the box is in focus right. Oh, another thing that is neat about this, he's in witness protection. I remove the back plate at least and leave the hard drives in. It would make me nervous. You think these two? Because what I have is I have a box for this that's going to get packaged with foam and on the around the corners, and then I was going to put that in another box with more padding. I think with the hard drives, like I don't really have a real safe spot for the hard drives outside of the frame. That's why I was leaving those on there. It's magnetic. Oh shit! If I'm gonna take the hard drives out, I mean, like, what else am I not gonna take out? Like, I'm basically taking out the whole thing at this point. Yeah, it's a filter. Well, it's supposed to be a filter, but I don't have anything that like pulled air through that space, so it didn't filter anything. I am gonna leave the hard drives. Um, I mean, worst case scenario, they gotta get replaced for. I mean, they're just a single terabytes. I might just be overly paranoid about it though. Well, like I don't need to take off the M2s. I'm not worried about those. And that's where the operating system is. So let's go ahead and button this guy up. So I take the feet off. What else are some shows that people have been watching lately? So these are rubber feet for the no bubble wrap, not inside the frame. Um, so you can actually lay this on its side. Would you stop? Ran out of Little John wants to do what? That's such a great show. Lulu, chill out. Lulu, killing the vibe. I'm gonna head out, but we'll put you on my computer for alert. Gotta go put the kids to bed. Kids to bed? What time is it there? I appreciate the alert. I really appreciate hanging out with us. I've been watching an old show, Agatha Christie's Poyo. Good night. 9:30. Sounds like our kid. Yes, your boy, Miss Sassy Pants. Lulu. You say that like your kid doesn't stay up all night. I know. I mean, he's at his grandparents. He could probably be watching the stream right now. Oh, I got a new follower or something. I can't see it. What is that? KK Hugs. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Did you bring me back to 100? Oh, I'm at 95. Dang. Man, this is definitely taking longer than I was expecting. What's that? What does that face mean? I just see a face. And the stream goes quiet. Number one. I got 6 viewers. Somebody's here and being quiet. Or hasn't said hello. So, for those of you who have joined us not from the beginning, I am taking apart my gaming rig with the intent of giving it to one of my subscribers. Um, my wife and I are going to be, or our family is going to be living in an RV, so I don't have a spot for a gaming rig. Doop 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 doop. What do you guys think? Should I get this all done tonight, or like say, hey, it's fucking midnight, and finish like the boxing tomorrow? SoCal's getting sleepy. Yeah, I'm running out of steam. Coach, what do you got going on tomorrow? Oh, SoCal, can you check Facebook? I tried turning on multi-stream because I'm not making a ton of money from Twitch. I'm not gonna be upset if they tell me I can't be an affiliate anymore. But I turned on multi-stream, so it should go to Facebook also. I'm curious if it did. And back on dad duty. Your munchkin's still awake? Oh, tomorrow. That's what you meant. Tomorrow you're back on dad duty. I get that. I don't know what you want me to look for other than the boxing. It should have posted something to my Facebook page. I don't know if it did or not. Let's see. Facebook groups. Pages. My page. Yeah, I'm live on Facebook too. My page is live. I reached one person. Okay, let me make sure. No, it's public. Oh, cool. It even has it's automatically doing captions. That's cool. I appreciate that. Hmm. I think I'm gonna call it a night because then that way I can get thing canned air tomorrow. A little part of me does not like the idea of sending something like so dirty to somebody else. Might be good for you to be awake for that. All right, I just need a spot to stick all these screws so I don't lose anything. I don't need any more screws loose. All right, I think on that note, I'm gonna call it a night. If anybody feels like chatting while I wrap things up, we can jump over to Discord and have a little chat. But I'm gonna end the live stream. Good night, Coach. Thanks for hanging out with us. Good night, love. I will probably talk to you in a few minutes. Thank you all for hanging out, and I guess we'll wrap this up tomorrow.